Good morning everyone and welcome to today's class on mathematics. So today we will be looking at the chapter surface area and volume, which is from mathematics part 2, and this chapter again is very important because it is also continued in class 10th. So when the name comes to your mind, surface area and volume, what thoughts occur? What do you mean by surface area and what do you mean by volume? So surface area is something that is like the boundary or something that occupies the outer area, right? Which can be touched, which can be felt. And then the volume is something that we are filling in, right? The quantity that occupies space is called as volume. So with that, we will begin with the chapter surface area and volume. Now, what shapes we will be looking at in this chapter? So basic steps we will be taking up, that is a cube, a cuboid, cylinder, and a cone. Now think of, where do we see these shapes in real life? A cube. Where do you see a cube? Just check, I have a sample over here. That is a cube, right? And a cuboid. So this is a sample of cuboid. Now try to understand the difference between a cube and a cuboid. Just check, for a cube, all the sides are equal, isn't it? All the sides are equal. But when we look at a cuboid, all the sides are of rectangular shape, right? And then a cylinder. For today, we will be looking at these three shapes, that is a cube, a cuboid, and a cylinder. So basic shape of cylinder I have with me over here is, this is a container where it is of the cylindrical shape, right? Now let us look at what is the surface area of a cube, a cuboid, and a cylinder. In surface area also, there are two types. One is the vertical or the lateral surface area, and the second is total surface area. So let's begin with looking at the faces of a cube. How many faces can you see on the screen? Try to count. The top face is the first one, that is the second is the front one, and third face is the side one, right? We can see only three faces because this is the front view. But at the back side also there are another three sides, right students? We can also take a look like this, wherein we are like folding up the cube. We are making it into a 3D form. So just check, the bottom or the center piece is the first one, and then let us count each single face. So the first face comes up, the second, the third, and the fourth one. Fifth is the bottom, and sixth is the one that comes from the top. Let us look at it once again. So how many faces are there? The question is, how many faces are there? So these are the 6 faces. The first, second, third, fourth, the bottom is fifth, and the top is sixth. So total there are 6 faces. Even though on the screen you can see only 3 faces in the front, but there are another 3 faces also. So basic thing, that faces of a cube or a cuboid are 6. Right students? I hope so far everything is clear. Once again, we can take another 3D view of a cuboid. So as you can see, the top moves up, and then we can check the bottom is the second one, third is the front rectangle, fifth is the back rectangle, and those are the 2 sides. Those are also in the shape of rectangle. So thus you see, those are total 6 faces, right students? And that makes a cuboid with the front view, the side view, and the top view. Next we look at the edges. So what are the edges? Edges are, if you look at this shape, edges are the borders between two faces. This is the first face, the second face, third face, the fourth is at the back, fifth at the bottom, and sixth at the top. The edges are the line which joins two faces. So edges, we are counting the edges. Okay, students. So how many edges are there? If we look at this cube, vertical edges, there are 4 vertical edges, right? On the top, there are 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, at the bottom, there are 4 again. So total will be top 4, bottom 4, and then the vertical 4. So total, there are 12 edges. And then we look at the difference between cube and a cuboid. So if you look at the cube, all the dimensions, by the word dimension, it means the measures of the length, breadth, and height. So for a cuboid, all 3 are of different measures, right? And for a cube, all 3 are same. Like here you can see the letter A is used to denote the sides of a cube. And for a cuboid, there is a length, breadth, and height, right, students? And then all the faces of a cube, they are square shape, and all the faces of a rectangle, they are rectangular shape. So we have looked at the area, the formula of total surface area in the last class, that is in the 8th class. So surface area of a cube is 6a square. That is the area of all the 6 faces. And what about the surface area of a cuboid? That is twice of LB plus BH plus HL. So that is the total surface area of a cube and a cuboid. Now, let us look at the volume of a cuboid. How do we find the volume of a cuboid? So, always to find volume, we find area of the base and simply multiply by the height. Once again, we should start with the area of the base and multiply by the height. Okay. Now, when we look at a cuboid, that is a cuboid like this, we start with the area of the base. What is the base? The shape of the base here is a rectangle, right? So we start with area of the base, that is rectangle in this case. So it will be length into breadth, right? And we have to simply multiply by the height. So let's look at the figure on the screen. You see, that is how we multiply by height, and a simple rectangle, it forms a 3D shape, that is a cuboid. Right, students? So that's how we get volume of the cube, that is area of base. Now it can be a cube or a cuboid, both of them it would work same. That is the area of the base times by the height will give us the volume of a cube or a cuboid. Same works with the cube as well. So volume of a cube will be, that will be a cube, because area of the base is a square, that is side square, because it's a square. And then we multiply the height in this case is a, that gives us a cube. The volume of cube is a cube, and the volume of a cuboid is LBH. All right. So far we have looked at the surface area of cube and cuboid. Likewise, we have looked at the volume of a cube and volume of a cuboid. Now let's move on to another shape, that is cylinder. Now think of all the cylindrical shapes that you can see in real life. And we know it has a curved part, right? It has a curved part like this, and it has flat faces, one at the top and one at the bottom, correct? So what will be the curved surface area? What will be the total surface area? And how do we find the volume? So let's look at that. Now imagine you have a bangle, all right? and you're going to keep the bangles one over the other. The bangles are of same radius. Okay. We know the circumference of a circle. What is the circumference of a circle? It is 2 pi r. Right, students? Now, let us look at what happens if we go on arranging a bangle over the another. So, observe the animation carefully. How the bangles are being stacked up one over the other and how it looks like a cylinder. So that's how we see the formation of cylinder takes place by bangles, right? And you see there is a height to it and the radius. The radius is same because all the bangles are of same radius. So we know the circumference of a circle over here is 2 pi r, and what will be the area covered by this cylinder? So we are talking about the curved surface area, not the top and not the bottom, just the curved surface area. So of course it would be the perimeter of the circle, that is the circumference, which is 2 pi r, and multiply it with the height, correct? So that would give us 2 pi r h. That is how we get the curved surface area of a cylinder. So you see in this diagram, we look at the total surface area. How to find the total surface area? We got the curved surface area to be 2 pi r h. Now we are going to find the total surface area. So you can see here the pink part is the circular face, or you call it the curved face, right? And the blue are the top and the bottom, right, students? So the curved surface area, sometimes we are just asked to find the curved surface area and sometimes we are asked to find the total surface area. So understand the difference. To find the total surface area, we are going to add the curved surface area and the top and bottom parts. So area of two circular disc or two circular surfaces. What is the area of one circle? We know the area of one circle is pi r square, right? We have done this in 8th standard. So what is the area of a circle? Area of a curve of a circular part is pi r squared. So we are adding them up together. Area of the curved surface area, that is 2 pi rh, plus the area of two circular faces, that is pi r square. But since there are two circular regions, one is the top and one is the bottom, there are two circles, that's why it is 2 pi r square, right? And then we pull out common factors from this to get 2 pi r plus h. So let me quickly show the working here. What are we doing? We are adding the curved surface area to the two circular regions. What is the curved surface area? That is 2 pi r h, plus we are adding the area of two circles. So that is pi r square is the area of one circle, but we are multiplying it by 2 because there are two circular regions, top and the bottom, right? Now look at what is the common factor in both the terms. What is the common factor? We see there is a 2, there is a pi, and there is a r in both of them. 2 pi and 1 r. So we are going to pull out 2 pi r. What remains? We are left out with h and 1 r. So that gives us h plus r. That makes the formula for total surface area of a cuboid. That is 2 pi r plus h, or h plus r. It's the one and the same thing. Okay, students. Next. Next, we look at one more method on how to find the curved surface area of a cylinder. Once again, what do you mean by curved surface area? It is just the curved part. We are not considering the top and the bottom. It is just the curved surface area. So how do we work on that? imagine that there is a cylinder made up of paper. Fine. Now imagine that there is no top and there is no bottom. It is just a circular ring. Okay. And we are going to cut it out and open it up. So imagine you have a paper cylinder, you're cutting it up and you're opening it up. What will be the shape that you get? Yes. Let us look at it on the screen. What will be the shape? So you see, if you cut it out on that black line, we get it to be a rectangle. Correct, students? Now, when we open it up, the height, that will be the width in this case, the height is h. And what will be the complete length? The complete length will be the perimeter of that circle, right? The circular part, we know the circumference is 2 pi r. So if you look at that rectangular sheet, the height is h and the bottom, the base is 2 pi r. And how do we find area of rectangle? Simply length into breadth, correct? So length is 2 pi r and breadth is height, that is h. So simply multiplying, we get the formula 2 pi r h. The understanding of how we got that formula is very important, because it is when the questions are application based, and sometimes there are so many formulas. If you get confused, quickly you can think of it, how we got the formula, and there is no need to memorize it, right? So for the curved surface area, it is 2 pi r h, and for the total surface area, it is 2 pi r plus h. Okay, isn't that simple? Next, we look at the volume. How do we find the volume of cylinder? So as I said earlier, to find volume of any shape, you start with the base, area of the base, and multiply the height, correct? Now, what is the base of a cylinder? Imagine, think of a cylinder like this. So what is the base? The base is circular shape, correct? So we will start with area of the base, that is area of the circle. So area of the circle is pi r square, right? So as you can see here, we start with area of the base, that is pi r square, and we are going to multiply with the height, that is h. So multiplying this together, we get the formula to be pi r square h. All right, students. So once again, how do we find volumes? Simply start with the area of the base and multiply it with the height. All right. Yes. Now, let us quickly recap on what all things we have done so far. We started with 3 shapes, a cube, a cuboid, and a cylinder, right? And then we saw the curved surface area, the total surface area, and the volume, correct? So, always try to assimilate the information in tabular form, or try to see it in such a way so that you can compare them, because when we look at things comparative way, then they get stored in our permanent memory. So no need to memorize again. You can simply remember it like that. All right. So let us look at the complete chart where we can see the surface areas and the volume of all the 3 shapes in one go. So here we start with the first shape, that is the cube. Cube has all faces to be of a square shape, right? And then the volume of the cube is L cube. Then the total surface area, that is 6L squared, right? Total will be 6 and the curved surface area will be 4, because when we look at the curved surface area, how many faces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gave us the number 4. And when we say total surface area, how many faces are there? Total faces. Those are 6 faces. That's why we get the formula 6L square. Then we saw the next shape, that is cuboid. So what is a cuboid? The difference between cube and cuboid is all the shapes of the cube, all the faces of the cuboid will be of rectangular shapes. So we start with the volume. What is the volume of a cuboid? That is LBH. Then the total surface area, that is twice of LB plus BH plus HL. And what about the curved surface area? The curved surface area is twice height, and that would be length plus breadth, right? And the last part we saw, that is a cylinder. For a cylinder, the volume is pi r squared h, and the total surface area, that is 2 pi r plus h, and the vertical or the curved surface area is 2 pi r h. All right, students, so you can quickly take a screenshot of this so that you can try to recall and remember the complete formulas in one look. Great. So with that, we will quickly begin with some examples. We will start with the first exercise, the first practice exercise of this chapter. So here, that is the first question. Find, we are given length, breadth and height of a cuboid shaped box of medicine, which is 20 centimeter, 12 centimeter and 10 centimeter respectively. And we are asked to find the surface area of vertical faces and total surface area of the box. Now, please concentrate on the question. It says, find the surface area of vertical faces. Vertical faces is the curved surface area, and total surface area will be the complete, right? So let us start with what is given. So what are we given here? We are given the length, that is 20 centimeter. We have the breadth, that is 12 centimeter, and the height, that is 10 centimeter. And what are we asked to find? We are asked to find two things. The first is the curved surface area, and second is the total surface area. So to find the curved surface area, that is CSA, or you can say the vertical surface area, VSA. This is the first one, and the second is TSA, that is the total surface area. With that, let us start with the solution. So we start with the first one, that is to find the surface area of vertical faces, which is curved surface area. So what is the formula for curved surface area of a cuboid? That is equals to twice of h L plus B. We are simply going to substitute the values and then do the calculations. So I want all of you to try it out. Okay, these numbers are really simple and the calculations are also going to be really easy. So try out working with me. Twice of height. Height is 10 times L plus B. L is 20 and B is 12. So 20 plus 12. That would be 2 times 10 is 20, and we add up these two numbers, so that would give us 32. And solving it, what do we get? That is equals to 640, and the unit will be centimeter square. For CSA, that is for areas, the unit is always centimeter, it is always squared. So it can be centimeter squared, it can be meter squared, like that. And for volume, we put a exponent to be 3, that is cube. Fine. So we got the first answer, that is the surface area of vertical face. That is equal to 640 centimeter square. And now we will work on finding the TSA, the total surface area. So the second part now, the TSA or the total surface area, which is twice of LB plus BH plus HL. Everyone, please solve it with me. So twice of LB. L is 20 into B is 12 plus BH. So B is 12 into H is 10 plus HL. H is 10 into L is 20. Right, students? And now you have to just simplify. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Quickly try it out. Quickly try it out. And how do we begin? We start with always simplifying the innermost bracket. So what is the innermost bracket here? Twice of the innermost bracket here is 20 into 12. That would be equals to 240 plus 12 into 10, that would be 120 plus 10 into 20, that would be 200, right? And now twice of, we have to add all these numbers, that would be equal to 560, right, students? And then you simply multiply. So twice of 560, that would be equal to how much? 1120, right? And the unit will be centimeter squared. So that's how we got the TSA or the total surface area of the box. That is equals to 1120 centimeters square. That completes the first question. Let us move to the second question now. So that's the second question. Total surface area of a box of cuboid shape is 500 square unit. Its length and breadth is given. Length is 6 unit and breadth is 5 unit. We are asked what is the length of that box. So always start with writing out what is given. We are given that the total surface area of the box is equals to 500 unit squared, right? And we are given the breadth. The breadth is 6 units and the height is equals to 5 units. Breadth and height. So first breadth is 6 and height is 5, like that. Now, what are we asked to find? What is the length of that box? So to find length, and we start that, let the length be x, fine. And now we begin with the solution. So what is the formula that we use here? The formula is for the total surface area. The formula is twice of LB plus BH plus HL. So we start with the TSA, that is twice of LB plus BH plus HL. What is the total surface area? We are going to simply substitute everything and solve for x. So once again, everyone, try it out. This is really easy and this question would be asked for 3 marks, at least 3 marks. So total surface area, that is 500 equals to twice of LB. So what is L? Length is x and B is 6 plus B is 6 into height is 5 plus height is 5 into length is x, right? So let us simplify. 500 equals to twice of x into 6, that is 6x, plus 5 into 6, that is 30, plus 5 into x, that is 5x, right, students? And that would be, again, we are just simplifying the part which is under the brackets, in the brackets, right? So 6x plus 5x, that would be 11x plus 30. Now, we have to bring x by itself. Our goal is to bring x by itself. So we are going to shift one number or one term at a time. We start with shifting the 2 to the other side. Now, how do we do that? 2 over here is in multiplication. 2 is in multiplication. It moves to the other side. It would be division. Right, students? So over here, Let us continue on this side. So that would be 500 divided by 2, which is equals to 11x plus 30. So what is 500 divided by 2? That would be 250, which is equals to 11x plus 30. What are we going to shift next? So always try to get rid of the non-x terms. We keep the x term on this side, so we are going to get rid of this plus 30. Plus 30 on that side would make it to negative 30. Addition will change to subtraction, so that would be 250 minus 30 equals to 11x, which will be equal to how much, students? I guess you all have got the answers already, correct? So this will be 220, which is equals to 11x. Now we have to get rid of 11. So 11 will move to that side. 11 is in multiplication over here. It moves to the other side and it divides. So 220 divided by 11 equals to x. That's how we got x equals to 20, right? So 20, and what is the unit? We are given the unit to be simply unit. So x equals to 20 unit, or we can say the length, that is equals to 20 unit. That completes the solution to this problem. Quickly take a look at it. And then we begin with the next question. That's the next question, the third one. Here we are given the side of a cube is 4.5 centimeter, and we are asked to find the surface area of all vertical faces. So concentrate again. First thing, we are asked to find the surface area of vertical faces. That is just the vertical faces, that is the curved surface area. And second, we are asked to find the total surface area. Okay, so let's begin. We start with writing given. What is given here? We are given that the side, which is A, equals to 4.5 centimeter. And what are we asked to find? So to find, first thing, we have to find the lateral surface area or the vertical surface area, which is also called as the curved surface area. And the second thing, we have to find the total surface area. So we begin with the solution. The first one, that is the curved surface area or the lateral surface area or the vertical surface area, the formula is 4 side square or 4a square, which is equals to how much? We are just going to substitute. So a is 4.5, 4.5 squared. So that would be 4 into 4.5 into 4.5, like that, correct? So 4 times 4.5 into 4.5, that would be equal to 20.25, right, students? And then simply multiply 4 times 20.25. What will that equal to? What will that equal to? If you multiply it out, you would get 81,8100. That is, let me help you with the decimal calculations. So simply you would multiply 2025 with 4, and that would give you 8100. Because the decimal point is after the 2 digits, those are 2 digits, that's why we will give decimal point over here after the 2 digits. That would give us 81.00, and we don't put those tail zeros, so the answer is simply 81. Okay, 81.00 is simply 81. That gives us the curved surface area to be 81 centimeters squared. I hope that is very clear. And now we work on the next part, that is the total surface area. So what is the formula for total surface area? Yes, it is 6 side squared. So simply substitute the value and you will get the answer. Second part, the total surface area, which is 6a squared. So 6 times a is 4.5. 4.5 squared. That would be 6 times 4.5 into 4.5. Right, students? And now multiply again. Work out this part first. So that would be 6 times 4.5 square will be 20.25, and multiplying this out, you would get the answer to be, once again, it would be like this: 2025 times 6. When you multiply, you would get 12150. And then the decimal point over here is after 2 digits. So you put decimal point over here, that is after 2 digits, that would give you 121.50. So the total surface area is 121.50, and the unit is centimeter squared, like that. Isn't that easy? Right? So whenever you're multiplying the decimal numbers, first multiply the number simply without the decimal point, and at the last you just place the decimal point in the right place. That gives the solution. We move to the next question, question number 4 now. So here, what are we given? So we are given that the total surface area of a cube is 5,400. This is the total surface area which is given, that is 5,400 centimeters square. And we are asked to find surface area of all vertical faces. Again, it's just the vertical faces, that is VSA, or let's say curved surface area, or you can say it is lateral surface area. Those are the same, the meaning is same, just the words used are different. So we start with given. What is given? It is given that total surface area equals to 5,400 centimeters squared, and we are asked to find surface area of all vertical faces. That is, we are asked to find now this is a tricky question, okay, to find the curved surface area. Okay, so let's start with the solution. We know we can just put up the formula over here. What is the formula of curved surface area? It's a cube. So how many faces come under the curved surface area? 4 sides, right? So the formula is 4 side square. Correct, students? And we are given, always start with given. We suppose you don't know from where to start, because here the side is not given. So how do we start? Start with whatever is given. So here we are given that the total surface area is 5,400. Now substitute or replace the TSA with the formula. What is the formula of total surface area of a cube? Total faces. Total faces is 6. So that will be 6a squared, which is equal to 5,400. Now just try to relate. What are we asked to find? 4a squared. What are we given? 6a squared, right? So should we find a? Think of it. Should we find a, or can we just find a square and use it to find curved surface area? What will be a good move? To find a, or to just be with the a squared? Let's work it out. So to bring a squared by itself, we will get rid of the 6. How do we get rid of the 6? 6 over here is in multiplication, and on that side it would be division. So that will be a squared equals to 5,400 divided by 6. I hope you all are working it out with me. So a squared will be 6 times 9 is 54. So we get a squared equals to 900. Now you can find a also. That would be simply 30. But I will like to keep it like this, which is a squared is 900. And I'm going to use this as it is to find the curved surface area. So curved surface area, which is 4a squared, we are going to use this a squared as it is from here. So which is 4 times a squared, we got that to be 900. And now see, simple multiplication, right? No need to find a. Again, you have to, suppose to find a, you will need to find the square root and all that. So simply substitute it and solve now. So what is 4 times 9? That is 36, and those two zeros, that gives us the curved surface area. And what will be the unit? Since it's an area, the exponent or the power should be 2. So that will be centimeters squared. That completes this solution. We are asked to find surface area of all vertical faces. So the surface area of all vertical faces, that is the curved surface area, is 3600 centimeter squared. Fine. We start with the next question now. What are we given in this question? Volume of a cuboid is 34.50 cubic meter. Now, what do you mean by cubic meter? That is simply meter cube, right? And next, breadth and height of the cuboid is given. So breadth is the first number, that is 1.5 meters, and the height is 1.15 meters. We are given the length, we are given the breadth and height, and we are asked to find what is the length. All right, this question will be for 3 marks, right? So start with what is given. What are we given, students? We are given volume. So volume equals to 34.50 meter cube. We are given the breadth. Breadth equals to 1.5 meters. We are given the height. So h equals to 1.15 meters. And what are we asked to find? We have to find the length, right? So we start with, let the length be x, correct? Or we can simply use L itself, no problem, because the solution is those are not more calculations. Those are not more steps. It is just few steps when we are working with volume. But when we are working with the total surface area, many calculations or many steps are there. That's why we use X, or we can use L also there. So for this one, we will stick to L. We begin with the solution now. How do we start? We start with whatever is given, that is the volume is given. So we start with volume, that is equals to 34.50, and we replace volume with the formula of volume. What is the formula? Volume of a cuboid, that is L into B into H, right, students? So try working it out. We are given L into B into H, that is equals to 34.50. We just substitute the values. So L, we don't know, we keep it as it is, into breadth is 1.5, into height, that is 1.15, right, students? And then that is equals to 34.50, like that. What will be the next step? What will be the next step? Yes, calculations can be done in a very smart way. So let us look at how do we do this type of calculation. Simply you can multiply this out, but again multiplying will give you a 3 decimal place number, and then the division will make it look, or you will waste time if you do the multiplication and all. So instead, let me give you a simple method, that is always try to get L by itself. That means we have to shift this 1.5 and also this 1.15 in one go. So both the numbers are in multiplication over here. It will be division on the other side. So it is 34.5 over 1.5 into 1.15. What are we doing? We are simply dividing. We took both the numbers to the denominator, fine. And we are not putting this last zero because it doesn't matter at all, putting those end zeros after the decimal point. Now, what is the next step? Always when we are working on division with decimal points, we get rid of the decimal point by multiplying by 10 or multiples of 10, right? So here, if we get rid of this decimal point, how many digits are there after the decimal point? There is only one digit. So we multiply by 10 on the other side. And what about these two numbers? Again here, there is one digit after decimal point. So let me write it out for you. That would be L equals to 345 over, if we get rid of this decimal point, we have to multiply the bottom by 10, and 1.5 will become 15, this will become 115. So what are we doing? After decimal point there is one digit, so times it by 10. Opposite side, we are putting the 10 or the multiples of 10 on the opposite side. So when we get rid of a decimal point from the denominator, we are multiplying the numerator by 10. Now here, after the decimal point, there are two digits. So two digit means two zeros, that would be 100. We are multiplying by 100 on the opposite side. And now simply do the calculations, easy calculations. So how do we begin? We just cross out the zeros first, the 10 and 10 gets crossed out, and now do the calculations, simple calculations. So that would be 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times, yes, 5 times 6 is 30, and 5 times 9 is 45, right? And then we can again cross out using the threes, right, student? Yes. So 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, 3 threes are 9. So we are left with 23. And now do the simplification over here. So this would be 5 times 2 is 10, and 0, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 threes are 25. So you see, both, we can clearly see 23 and 23 is repeated, right, students, on the top and as well as on the bottom. So 23 and 23, they get crossed out. We are left with L equals to 20. So always just simplifying, we got L equals to 20, right, students? So once again, what we did, we shifted both the numbers 1.5 and 1.15 to the other side. That gave us division. We got rid of those decimal points by multiplying by 10 and multiples of 10 on the opposite sides. Like to get rid of the decimal point from 34.5, we multiplied the denominator by 10, and likewise to get rid of the decimal point from 1.5, we multiplied the top with 10, and to get rid of the decimal point from 1.15, we multiplied by 100 to the top. And just simplifying by simple crossing out using small numbers 2 and 5, we got the answer to be 20. What will be the unit? Of course, it has to be meters, right? So we got length equals to 20 meters. Okay, students? So that was the fifth question. We move to the next question, sixth one. I have not placed sixth one over here. Why? Because that's a simple question. We are given the side in that case, and you are asked to find the volume. So that is just a one-step question, and I hope you all can try it out later. We continue with the next question, that is seventh one. So in this question, we are given a radius of base of cylinder is 20 centimeters. So what are we given? We are given that the radius is equals to 20 centimeter and height is given. So height equals to 13 centimeter, and we are asked to find two things again. First is the curved surface area, and the second is the total surface area. Of course, we are given pi. You have to be very careful when the value of pi is given. You have to strictly use that value only. So here we are given pi also, that is 3.14. And what are we asked to find? So we are asked to find two things. First is the curved surface area, and second is the total surface area. Yes, let us begin with the solution. So what is curved surface area of a cylinder? Curved surface area of cylinder is 2 pi r h. So what are we doing? We are going to just substitute the values and solve. So that will be 2 times pi, that is 3.14, times radius, that is 20, and times it with height, that is 13. Okay. So try it out quickly, students. I'll give you 10 seconds. Of course, it would take more than 10 seconds. So go ahead and give it a try. Simple multiplication with 2 times 3.14 will give us 6.28, times it with 20, and then times it with 13. And finally, you will get the CSA to be how much? I hope you all are working it out. Yes, and that would give you the curved surface area to be 1632.8 centimeters squared. Since it's an area, the unit has to be squared, right? Next, we find the total surface area. That is the second part, the total surface area. We know the total surface area is 2 pi r times r plus h, right? What is pi? Pi is 3.14 times r is 20, and we have to multiply r plus h, that is r is 20 plus height, that is 13, right? We start with simplifying the brackets always, the BODMAS rule. So twice of 3.14 into 20 and multiply it with the total of this, that would be 33. Right, students? So multiplying this out, the first part would give us 6.28, times it with 20 and then times it with 33. Simplifying, what do we get? Multiply all the numbers together. We can start with multiplying these two together and then the multiply 33. So what would you get? You would get a number that is 4144.80, and the unit, what will be the unit? Since it's area, it has to be squared, so that will be centimeters squared. So this is the total surface area. Right, students? Easy questions. This can be asked for 3 or 4 marks. And now we move to the last question. Okay, let us quickly do one last question, and that will complete the practice set 9.1. So what are we given here? We are given that the curved surface area of cylinder is 1980 centimeters squared. So this is CSA. CSA of cylinder is 1980 centimeters squared. We are given the radius. Radius is 15 centimeter, and we are asked to find height. So to find, we are asked to find the height, and also we are given pi. So be very careful. You have to use the same value of pi, that is 22 upon 7. So let us begin with the solution. CSA equals to 1980. What is the formula for CSA? That is 2 pi RH, which is equals to 1980, right? Be very careful with this question, because again, you can do the calculations in a smart way. So twice of pi is 22 upon 7, radius is 15. We don't know the height, we keep h as it is, which is equals to 1980. Okay, students, now you can see you cannot cross out this 7 with any number on the top. So what are we going to do? Do we simplify here? Do we multiply? No, don't multiply. Shift all of them to the other side. Get h by itself. So what will happen? Remember, the terms or the numbers which are in the denominator will move to the numerator. The numbers which are on the top, they will move to the bottom, that is the denominator. So h will be equals to 1980 as it is. Okay, and then just a minute. Over here we have 7, which is at the bottom. 7 is in denominator, so it has to move to the top, that is the numerator. 2, 22 and 15, they are in the numerator, so they have to go to denominator. So 2 into 22 into 15, and now simply cross out the factors, right? And you will get the answer. So let us solve it out. We will start with crossing out using the table of 5. Okay, so 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 48. So 5 times 9 is 45. And we are left with 3. So 5 6 are 30, right students? And then you can cross this out using 2, or you can use 3 also. So 3 times 1, 3 3s are 9, 3 2s are 6, right? And then you can cross out using 2. So 2 1s are 2, 2 6s are 12, and again 2 6s are 12. So what are we left with? Clearly just check 66 and 22. Can we work out something? So 66 and 22. So 11 times 2 is 22, and 11 times 6 is 66 using the table of 11. And then 6 over 2 is simply 3. So we are left with 3 on top, and here is a 7. So we got the height to be 3 times 7, that will be 21, and we know the unit that has to be centimeter over here. So height is 21 centimeters. So be very careful with the calculations. They can be done in a real easy and smart way, instead of simply multiplying, getting large numbers, and then getting stuck up while dividing. So try it out, and you will really find this easy. I hope you all have understood everything for this class. Homework questions. I have put up 2 questions over here. These questions are from problem set of the same chapter. So do give it a try. That's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining.